All right, look, I'm going to just put it like this, Kev. FOOL to FPST. That is what we're doing first. Okay? It's the first one in the list. Okay? Thank you. Morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. I'm your host, pilot, lead singer, and driver of the airplane, Uncle B. Today we got two flights. We're going to go to Sao Tome to get the flag there off the coast of West Africa. And once we land there, we're going to reset. We're going to head to China, do a flight in China, and then we're going to wrap up. Okay? Pretty straightforward. No, whatever you want to call it. No frills, no spills, no chills, no whatever. Okay? Get those knocked out, and then we'll be done for the day. Hello, Infidel. All right, so that's what we got today. Okay, any questions? Now, runway 29, let's talk about where we're going to land at. Now, runway 29 has a 7-knot tailwind. However, if we look at the airport information here, 29 is at a 16-foot elevation, and runway 11 is at a 39-foot elevation. So that's a pretty significant change in elevation, right? So we're going to come in on 29, land even though it's got a tailwind, okay? That's the plan, all right? There is a 10-knot crosswind, but we're going to stick it where the sun doesn't shine and be on to China, okay? Pretty straightforward. All right, let's see who's out here. I know Infidel was here already. Wait on Kev. Go ahead and taxi down here to the runway while we're waiting on Kev. Kev, are you joining in? You still loading up? Infidel's going to be in the 208 today. Only getting out about 5,000 feet for the flight. All right, there's Kev. Cabin crew, take seats for departure.
Cabin crew, take seats for departure.
All right, we're all here. Low tension. Thank you for that, infidel. You're coming up. Good morning, Nick. Or good afternoon for you. How are you, sir? You absolutely can get a who yeah. All right, there's Infidel, Kev is there. Kev is on his way. Nope, not at all. It's just in my headphones, so the whole house doesn't hear it. Nope, I don't mind it at all. Hello, Paige. Nice to see you. How are you today? That's good to hear. Kev having technical difficulties. All right, thank you for asking. Well, just another Saturday morning flying. We're gonna get this done, and then we're gonna head to China and do the first leg of the Silk Road tour, Silk Road route that Infidel, who's flying with us today, he asked me to put that together for our virtual airline. All right, we're leveling off at 5,000 already. All right, let's switch to our auxiliary tanks. Because this flight should not take very long to do. Yeah, Parasox. Virtual airline, you know Parasox potential. I put together, well, Infidel came up with the idea initially, just the Silk Road, the Silk Road route, or whatever you want to call it. And so I looked at the information that was available online as to, you know, what, where was it that it was done. You know, you go from Shanghai, China, all the way to Italy. And hello, Fixter. So it kind of weaved. No, not the Aero Economy. No. The virtual airline, Parasox. So there's like 30 some odd legs. For the tour. So Yeah. I try to hit all the, basically, everywhere that would have been, visiting countries that they would have visited back then. So, anyway. Center Clipper 912 request flight following.
Clipper 912. Flight following not available without radar contact. Contact Libreville departure on 125.39 for further assistance.
Contacting departure on 125.39. Good day. Libreville departure, Clipper 912 request flight following.
Clipper 912, squawk 676 of 3 and identity.
Squawking 673. 6763.
Clipper 912, radar contact established. Continue on present heading and altitude. Report any changes. Clipper 912, radar contact. 21 miles west of Libreville at flight level 50. Libreville QNH 1013.
Roger, Clipper 912. Inappropriate error? No. Well, there wasn't planes back then. It was all done by caravan, basically. You would they would move everything by horses and all that. So no, we won't be flying any. It won't be necessarily period. This was way before planes were done, but we'll stay in the DC-3 for the flight. It won't take very long to get that one done. We're 43 minutes out already from our destination today. Let's see. No flying camels. Well, you can get a Sopwith camel from Captain Scam, but that's about it. Caroline, do you have any information about our destination today, Sao Tome? Let's see what she has.
Oh, Captain, yes. The weather at Sao Tome International Airport is quite nice today. The temperature is around 27 degrees Celsius, with a few clouds at 2,000 feet and broken clouds at 3,300 feet.
Listen to her.
Visibility is good at 10 miles. No precipitation expected, so it should be a smooth landing.
Thank you, Caroline. Would you also bring up some coffee?
Of course, Captain. I'll bring up some coffee right away.
They do have it, Figster. They do have a Wright Brothers, the first plane that they flew, but we're not trying to fly that over 130 nautical miles or so. So yeah, no, we don't do that kind of silliness. Have you seen the LRM thing for live streams? No, I have not. No. They do have this, the large plane for the Howard Hughes, you talking? Yeah. Let's see if she'll answer, Kev. Caroline, what's the temperature in Fahrenheit at our destination today?
Tome Sea International Airport is 81 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 27 degrees Celsius.
Thank you. A passenger named Kev was asking if you could tell him in Fahrenheit, so thank you.
Oh, Captain, sure thing. The temperature at Sao Tome Sea International Airport is 81 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll let Kev know.
There you go, Kev. She let you know. No, we're not going to do the whole gamut of temperatures. No. Caroline, could you bring Kev a cup of coffee that matches the temperature at our destination today? Apparently he
Sure,
likes
Captain.
it extra
I'll bring
hot.
Kev a cup of coffee right away, and I'll make sure it's at 27 degrees Celsius. I'll be serving coffee shortly, so please sit tight.
Thank you. There you go. You're going to get some really hot coffee, Kev. Make sure you don't spill it on yourself. Caroline, there's a passenger that's requesting some rum and coke. Do we have that available?
Oh, Captain, I will check if we have rum and coke available for that passenger. I'll let you know shortly.
Thank you. Well, you figure by the time it cools down, we'll be ready to land, and then it'll be the perfect temperature to drink at our destination. All right, 41 minutes to our destination. So for those of you who do belong to Parasox Airline, you can, if you go to the airline and look for the achievements, there's like a bunch in there. So you click on the Silk Road Tour, and it'll bring up a whole host of information about the history of it. And I won't read all that during the flight, but you know, you can read that at your leisure. But yeah, it was originally an idea that Infidel Fireman came up with, and I just found the tricky part was finding airports that we could find in FS Hub, so that you get credit for the flight. And that, you know, it was easy, you know, something that if you flew a reasonable plane, not like an A320 or something. Is that bathroom reading? Well, it's up to you, Fixter. I don't know what to tell you. Read whichever you want in the bathroom. So yeah, it was a bit difficult finding some of the airports kind of near the original route that they took overland from China all the way across the Middle East, and then they eventually went up and then across into Italy by boat. They didn't go all the way up and around. I believe they traveled by boat part of the way towards the end, but I figured since this flight wasn't going to take very long to do, we would throw that in to the plan today. So we'll knock out 2 flights, and then I got to skedaddle out of here. I got to run to the store. I don't know if I'm going to fly with you today, Kev, or not. I'm going to try, but I can't promise. So, yeah, it's just I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, so that's what we got. And then next Saturday, I did put an update in the Discord. So Just Flight updated their Avro RJ fleet. So we now have a cargo RJ 100. So you have one that's DHL, FedEx, TNT, and then just like a plain generic one, generic livery or something like that. So we're gonna fly that next Saturday. We're gonna do a cargo run from Cape Town up to I can't remember the name of the place that we're going, and then and that will be it for until the 20th. I will not be flying on the 13th. I don't know that I'm going to be flying on the 9th either. I have a procedure on Monday the 8th, so I don't know how much energy I'm going to have after going through all that. So yeah, it's going to be I won't be flying probably that week. I'm going to try to be in streams, but it's going to depend on how tired I am. Let's see what else. I know we got. I'll wait for the ad break to end. I was hoping Amela would be. Amela, are you here? Hello, Amela. Are you here, Amela? There was something I was going to talk about that I think Amela would have found interesting, but we'll see if Amela pops in. Breakfast bar. All right, looks like everybody's back. So yeah, that's the plan. Now, next Saturdays is probably going to take a little bit of time. That'll be the 6th of September. So we're only going to knock out that flight that day. What I may do to avoid having to come up with plans, and I could just do 2 flights on my own during the week to do capture the flag kind of stuff. And once we're done at the end of November, November 29th. So December, January, and probably February, we'll do the Silk Road Tour. We'll pick up we'll keep the second leg all the way to the end, but we may do a couple flights on a Saturday. It may not just be one, because there's some that are pretty close together, so we can take off, land at the first destination, and then take off again and go to the next one, and then we'll call it good there. And we'll try to fly it in the DC-3. Maybe something else if we're over really mountainous terrain and it's going to take something we need something more powerful to get over the hill, so to speak. Then we'll do that, or we'll just kind of try to skirt around the lower part of a mountain or something and see if we can get to our destination. So yeah, we may do that, but we'll try with the DC-3 for as long as we can. Matter of fact, let's see. Let me look at it again. Under achievements. There's 37 legs to do. So that may take us into that'll probably take us through February at least, maybe even into March. Oh, the info thing's not working. Oh, there. Nope. All right. I did Homeland. I check food cards. I'm thinking you're talking about the 747-400. Not the 737. All right, I have to fix that off stream. Every so often, the stuff falls out. Yeah, Cargo Lux flies 747s, or, well, I think they still do, but it might be the Dash 8. There's some companies that still fly the 400 series for cargo. We get Atlas Air flies in and out of Birmingham near where I live. 800 freighters from Europe. I'm hoping when I leave in October to fly to Dallas that maybe one will be there at the airport. Maybe hopefully we'll taxi right by it and I can try to get a picture if I'm on the right side, the correct side of the plane to get a picture of it. I'd be quite happy. I'd really like to. There's not really a good spot. Well, they don't want you. There's no safe place to plane watch at the airport here where I live. So if you're going to, it's almost like you got to pay for parking in the parking garage. Anyway. But I'd like to get a picture of it as it's taken off. All right, we are 87 nautical miles out. Just under 30 minutes. We're gonna drop down to about, let's see, what's our, oops, uh-oh. Now if I look, oh, it's changed to a 13 knot tailwind. We know what, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna stick this landing. Approach. Not the approach. So if we were using the VOR, final approach altitude is 1,500 feet. So we're going to, that's what we're going to use, 1,500. So there we are, about halfway there. Near the equator also again. Let's see if we can talk to our destination yet. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oops, a daisy. How did that happen? Oh, crap. Well, that's, there we go. Well, that's not good. Let's see if we can get, there we go. All right, there's our destination. Approach, Clipper 912.
Clipper 19912, Sao Tome Control. You are not under flight following. State your request or contact tower for landing request.
We are inbound for full stop landing at Sao Tome.
Clipper 912, you are not under flight following. Contact Sao Tome Tower for landing instructions.
Roger, contacting tower on 118.9. Good day. Sao Tome Tower, Clipper 912, 5100 feet, inbound to land on runway 29. Interesting. Sao Tome Tower, Clipper 912.
Clipper 912, contact Sao Tome Tower for landing instructions.
Sao Tome Tower, Clipper 912. Man, what the heck?
Clipper 912, Sao Tome Tower. Go ahead.
Roger, we're inbound about 71 nautical miles away from the airport, requesting clearance for landing runway 29.
Clipper 912, runway 29 is not available. Winds 160 at 6, runway 11, cleared for approach.
Roger, Clipper 912. Well, son of a bee sting. Whoa. Dang, I really don't want to land downhill. Plane is moving. Oh, dang, that's... we're flying to this island off the coast of West Africa called Sao Tome. Basically, what I did was I'm looking for places we've never visited before. And for when you land, you get the flag of the country that you landed at. So that's our first flight for today. And then we're going to be in China going... Our destination will be Zhengding. I'm probably butchering that name. Okay, so we got to come in on 11. Huh. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Let's come up with a plan right now. Let's get our heading bug set. Okay. Yeah, I have a AI, say intentions. It's an AI system. We have a... Caroline, could you say hello to Fixter, please? Let's see what she says.
Of course, Captain. Hello, Fixter.
There you go. Caroline, would you also say hello to Paige for me, please?
Of course, Captain. Hello, Paige.
Thank you very much, Caroline.
You're welcome, Captain. I'm here to help.
That's the... She's like the lead at the cabin crew, Caroline. And then there's Janet, who we won't talk to because she'll just get all snarky. Because she doesn't... She'll tell you that she only does IFR flight. She won't talk to you otherwise. So we'll leave her alone. So like the tower, everything's all, you know, regional sort of. They kind of talk like you would expect them to for the area that we're in. All right, so. Let's see on a little nav map. Where are we? Okay, so we're more than halfway there. And we're going to change... Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm not entirely thrilled about... landing on 11 because it's downhill. That's gonna be Now, of course, we could ignore the instructions. Let's look at this again. 13 knot tailwind. But we don't have any kind of information as far as going to rain. Okay. Well, is there a procedure? I don't think there is for runway 11. Yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting. All right, let's go ahead and get back to our main tanks. For the remainder of the flight. I don't know. Do we take the chance? Ignore the instructions, or do we try to land downhill? I mean, it's a 23-foot drop downhill. Decisions. Oh yes, predictions. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the reminder, Infidel. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I don't care what Kev says about you. All lies. All right. So get your predictions in. Spend some of those glorious channel points. If you feel compelled to. Debating, do I ignore it and go with my gut instinct and land on 2-9 anyway? Or do I go with the strong headwind and try to get it down on the ground as quickly as possible and get on the brakes?
Clipper 912. Enter left downwind for runway 11.
Air left downwind for runway 11, Clipper 912. Okay, we must be... Alright, close enough. Alright, so here's what we'll do. We're going to get down to about 3,000 feet. Just to start off with. Nope. One of the superchargers got turned off. Oops, a daisy. All right. Yeah. All right. While we're descending, I'm going to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, let's hop back in here. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Infidel. Yeah, I guess we could add that in. Let's see, can we go direct to Ramor first? Okay, let's do that. Okay. All right, about just under 12 minutes left on the predictions. Get your predictions in. Should be the island there, off to the left a bit. Sao Tome Tower, Clipper 912, heading direct to Romeo Alpha Mike, Oscar Romeo, and then turning in for runway 11. Okay. All right, that's the island there. I lost. Oh, there's Kev way over there. No, it should be kind of on the coast of the island. Let's see if we all right, right there. We'll have to really skirt that. Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah, see, it's gusty. Okay. Do. All right, there's the runway. Okay. Let's see what we're going to do here. All right, we have a plan. Okay. Once we reach our point there, we're gonna make a hard left. Okay.
Clipper 912, winds 160 at 9. Runway 11 clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 11, Clipper 912. Cabin crew, take seats for arrival. Please ensure that the passengers are all buckled up. It's going to be a...
Okay, Captain. Cabin crew, take seats for arrival. Understood, Captain. I will ensure that all passengers are buckled up.
Thank you. It might be a bit of a rough landing.
Understood, Captain. I'll ensure the cabin crew is prepared for the landing.
Right, here we go. Kev's on the ground. How'd you do, Kev? Nice. Oh, that was a 100. 100. Going downhill. 100. Clear the runway for Infidel.
Clipper 912. Taxi to parking at your discretion. Monitor this frequency.
Taxi to our area or gate at our discretion. Clipper 912. Oh, he's already there. Okay, let me get a shot then. Paige jokingly said 100. Hey, that's not bad for downhill. I'm pretty pleased with that. It says perfect, so I'll take it. That's not too shabby for coming in downhill. You know, so yeah, that was pretty good. All right, that's fine. We'll get reset for the next flight. Yeah, it was tough because you basically you're diving into the runway. So Yeah, it was not easy. And I don't think this is really a... Oh, we're going to use it like a taxiway. To heck with it. What they don't know won't hurt them. Yeah, because I felt like I wasn't going to be able to bleed enough speed off before we touched down. But yeah, that worked out rather well. I think I would have done better coming in on the other one, but that's all right. We made it. We got the flag. An hour, just over an hour. All right. That's weird. It didn't give me a takeoff thing. That's all right. We don't need it. Yes, go to the menu, please. All right, that one's in the bag. No. And we can get rid of that. We're going to pull up that. Okay. Where is the Sao Tome flag? Sao Tome and Principe? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I need to sort my... hold on just a second, folks. We'll get going on the next one here. All right. Let's see. Where are we going to? Where's our next? It's ZBAA. ZBAA. Beijing capital. We're gonna have to. Going to ZBSJ. All right, so it looks like we're departing on runway 18 left. 18 left to runway 15. Let's get in here, get the plane started up. We'll get the time changed. See where we're going. check. I think 5,000 feet should be. Yeah, that should be sufficient. All right. All right, let's talk to Beijing Tower. Clipper 912 requests clearance to taxi to runway 18 left for departure to Zulu Bravo Sierra Juliet.
Clipper 912, taxi to runway 18 left via Zulu 3, Foxtrot 4, Foxtrot, Alpha 1, Tango 2, Hotel, Tango 1, Yankee 4, wind calm, cleared for takeoff.
Taxi to runway 18 left via Zulu 3, Foxtrot 4, Foxtrot, Alpha 1, Tango 2, Hotel, Tango 1, Yankee 4, cleared for takeoff. Clipper 912. Oops.
Clipper 912, runway 18 left taxi via Zulu 3, Foxtrot 7, Foxtrot, Alpha 9er, Golf, Echo 8.
Runway 18 left, taxi via Zulu 3, Foxtrot 7, Foxtrot, Alpha 9, Golf, Echo 8, Clipper 912. Kev, are you joining us for this flight? Or did you have enough already? Or did he spill that hot coffee all over himself? Are you joining us for the second flight? Or are you just going to watch? Oh, there he is. I see you now. Never mind. You guys can go ahead and take off if you want. Go. You don't have to wait on me. You guys are ready. Take off. Let's see if the TVM is going to be nice to you today. Well, hopefully it will be. Oh. Dang it. All right, there you go. Congratulations, Kev won again.
All right, that's enough of this insubordination. If the machine breaks down, we break down.
All right, it's all cleared out now, Kev. You won. Let's see if he can make it 2 for 2. That's right. I was gonna put that one on there. Love that movie. It was hilarious. I saw it in the theater when it came out too. If you're ready, Infidel, you can go ahead and go. There goes Kev. Kev's in the air. Infidel's right behind him. Careful of that wake turbulence. You know that DC-3. Either that or Kevin's farting. There's your wake turbulence. All right. Wait for the ads to get done.
It's lights out and away we go!
All right, we're climbing. You're coming up. Infidel's giving the people of Shanghai a little show this morning. Flying over the ILS markers. All right, we are on our way. Bella, good morning. How are you? I was just wondering if you were going to pop in. I'll send you the link to it. A video on YouTube. This guy is a sports writer who apparently covered the Oakland A's during the era of Moneyball, as portrayed in the movie. And he was saying how the movie, while entertaining, missed several key elements during that time that mainly among them, well, there was two main things he pointed out. One was the portrayal of Art Howe by Philip Seymour Hoffman was not an accurate portrayal of Art Howe. And the second thing was that there was 4 pitchers on the team that year that had phenomenal records, but they were never mentioned in the movie. It was all down to the fact that Scott Hatterberg was at first, and then they had that reliever, Bradford, and David Justice, and a couple other hitters. That was it. They didn't talk about the pitching staff other than Bradford, and but they had I think they had Zito, all these in their prime, very young pitchers who had a phenomenal season, but they were completely left out of the story. It was a very interesting video. He kind of went he kind of dragged it out longer than he had to, but yeah, it was a. I'll send you the link and you can watch it. I'll send it to you later after we're done flying. But yeah, very interesting. And I kept thinking there was something missing from the story, basically. And that's what it was. It was the pitching staff. That they never mentioned the pitching, the starters, not the reliever, but the starters. Who were part of that massive that big season that they had. But the book covers it, but for whatever reason it got left out the movie. And he did mention the point about how Scott Hatterberg was scared of playing first the ball. He said nobody who's ever moved to first base from another position ever said that they were scared of the ball being hit their way. Like that was a complete. He said that was such utter nonsense. Everybody he's talked to. Oh, look at that thing. What is that? That's interesting looking. Look at that. Look at this weird. That's kind of an interesting place. All right, so we have Infidel there. There's Kev. Okay, we got everybody in the air. Look at this train station. It's like a giant basketball from a distance. That's a really cool looking train station, though. Now that I think about it, it looks like a giant eye. That's pretty cool looking. But from another angle, it looks like a basketball. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting little video. But like I said, he seemed to go on and on about the movie, even though he said it was an interesting movie and it was entertaining and whatnot. Let's go to center. Beijing Center, Clipper 912 request flight following.
Clipper 912, unable to provide flight following. Contact Capital Departure on 119.0 for further assistance.
Contact Capital Departure on 119.0, Clipper 912. Departure, that's approach. Oops. Capital Departure, Clipper 912, request flight following.
Clipper 912, squawk 5234 and ident.
5234. It wasn't really a documentary. It was a commentary that he put together because he's a sports writer and he happened to be covering the A's that year. Squawk 5234.
Clipper 912, radar contact, 5 miles west of Beijing. Nanyuan Air Base at 4900 feet. Beijing, QNH 1011.
Roger, Clipper 912. That's very possible as well, Kev. That's a valid point. I don't know. I think if that had been the case, he would have mentioned something about that they would have.
Clipper 912, contact taxing departure on 119.925.
Contact taxing departure on 119.925. Good day. Taxiing departure, Clipper 912, 5,000 feet. Taxiing departure, Clipper 912, 5,000 feet.
Clipper 19912, taxiing departure. Shaoxiang Beijing, QNH 1011.
Roger, Clipper 912. Yeah, he was a sports writer, and I think he still is off and on. But his YouTube channel is centered around like the part of it is just his own kind of, like he talked, I think he talks about sports movies to a degree, and then he also talks about players of certain eras. Like I think he did a video about Barry Bonds and all that. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty interesting video, although he talks about like a bunch of other baseball related movies like Field of Dreams and stuff like that he just kind of, he had a very, to me, he had a kind of a bad attitude about some of the movies, and it's just like their movies are supposed to be fun. It doesn't, you know. But his take on, I didn't think about it until he said, you know, they were in the book, but for whatever reason they were left out of the movie. Now, Kev brought up a valid point that maybe their names weren't, they didn't want their names brought up for whatever reasons without being paid for their likeness or whatever. But he seemed to suggest that that they were left out in order to make other players appear more like they had a bigger role in that season than there was other people involved. And you know, I think they could have said something at the end, you know, like, hey, you know, we want to recognize that there was more players involved in that season than was portrayed in the movie. They didn't want their names used in the movie, but, you know, if you read the book, you'll know the whole story kind of thing. But yeah, anyway. When I watched it all the way through, I felt like I wasted 20 minutes of my time roughly that I'll never get back. But he did bring up some valid points. If he just went to the valid points, then it would have been fine. But oh my goodness, look at all this farmland. Well, let's see how far are we already. We are
Tower, this is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Pattern is always full, but sometimes you just got to do it. All right, we are about 30 minutes or so, so I think we'll start the predictions now. They'll end by the time before we get there. Let's see if Kev can go 2 for 2 today. you're see more tomorrow. That's all right. Well, I still got to plant all those trees. I got a plan for that. We got to space that out a little bit better so it's not all clumped up. But yeah, looking forward to being on the farm tomorrow. There's buildings, but there's also farms. Look at that. It's just like, well, a building, and then you have all the farms right there. Look at that. And then you have this massive, more over there. Oh, some nice mountains. I mean, it's like built up, but there's also like a lot of farmland in these built up areas. Look at all that. I know what you meant, Kev. I think you ought to enlist Paige to start helping out on the farm, Mick. What do you think, Paige? You want to help out on the farm tomorrow? You could look after, maybe you could check out on the animals. Maybe pull a Joseph and get a tractor stuck in a tree. Or even worse, fall asleep at the wheel. Snore on stream. Yeah, only if we want unicorns on the farm. Maybe that'll come in the next farm sim. For the first time ever in the history of farm sim, you can have unicorns. I didn't really eat much for dinner last night because I had a late lunch, kinda. Well, I had two breakfasts yesterday. I had a breakfast in the morning when I got up, and then I went to McDonald's because I got over to my appointment for my car servicing a little bit early, so I found a McDonald's, went to the drive-thru, and then I stopped off at Jack's on the way home and got a burger and fries, and so I just kind of snacked yesterday for dinner. I didn't really. So yeah, I had two breakfasts and then a lunch. Beef burritos. Ooh, that sounds good. See, I think of beef burritos, and I think of Taco Bell, and I think of unpleasant things. So yeah, we'll be back next Saturday, same time. I'll be chicken tacos. Ooh, nice chicken tacos. You know what I kind of miss? Around San Antonio, there was a place I found when I was out there for leadership school. The second time I went to San Antonio for school, that had these amazing fish tacos. Oh, they were so good. But you could get like chicken, you can get like the carne asada, carnitas, and all that. Oh, but I did love their fish tacos. They had some really good fish tacos. I love San Antonio. I miss it. Did the Alamo tour. You could walk around in the Alamo, what's left of it. River Walk, all that. You know, all the restaurants along the River Walk. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Miss that place. But I love those like little hole in the wall mom and pop kind of places that you could get authentic Mexican food, not like Taco Bell or something, you know, like Chipotle or anything like that. It was just, you know, like authentic. It's good stuff. Just like when I went to Mexico for my somebody I was working with. His son was baptized at the church, same church that him and his wife were married at. And he says, "You've been to authentic Mexico." He said, "Tijuana's like gringo Mexico." You've been to the real Mexico. Homemade enchiladas. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. That does sound good. See, there was a place down the street from where I lived out in Mountain View that was Tres Hermanos, the three brothers. And during football season, you could go in, like for Monday Night Football, they had a special $1 tacos. And you could just go in there and load up on tacos. And they had the Monday Night Football game on TV. Oh, man. You can go in there for like, $10 and just eat until you couldn't eat anymore. But the taco, it's like the flour tacos, not the crunchy ones like you get at Taco Bell. But they had, you could get pretty much whatever you wanted on the top. I don't think they did fish tacos, but they did do carnitas, chicken, carne asada, and it was all marinated. They had their own, I think their own marinade recipe or something. But yeah, it was good. But during football season, they always had a big special on $1 tacos on Monday night. I don't think they were ever open on Sundays, but Monday they would make the business. Even if you didn't eat there, you could, go in there and just order a ton of tacos to go, and good stuff. Let's see, how far are we from our destination? Just about 70 nautical miles. All right. Yeah, I do like that kind of stuff, the authentic food. And let's see, can we talk to anybody else? See, it did it again. Interesting. I don't know, maybe I'm accidentally closing it out of it or something. There we go. Still under Daxing in Beijing. Okay. Center Clipper 912, 5,000 feet. Let's see if Center. There's a. I'll hopefully join you next week. Oh, yeah, that's fine. No worries about
Clipper 19912, Beijing control. Roger. Maintain 5,000 feet.
Maintain 5,000 feet. Clipper 912. Okay. I just have to be careful how I open it back up. All right. Let's have a look at our destination here. All right, 1-5 is that away. Okay. Is there an approach for 1-5? There is an approach for 1-5. Looks like you gotta do this whole fly towards the airport, intercept the VOR, and then loop all the way. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit too much. Okay. So about 1,900 feet looks like a good altitude for approach. All right. And slight downhill. 12 feet downhill. Not too terribly bad. Yeah, we'll. I'm taking the new Avro RJ100 quiet trader, as they call it. There's Infidel right behind me. I thought I heard something. Yeah, Just Flight updated their RJ fleet, so I'm going to use that for Saturday's flight. So I'll be in about 7:30, parked and starting up the aircraft, getting everything loaded, and then we'll taxi to the departure runway. I'll hold short there so everybody knows where to go. I'll go live at 7:55, so that gives everybody about 5 or so minutes to get sorted. If you want to do your startup and taxi beforehand, you're more than welcome to. Then we'll take off and head for our destination, which is Windhoek. Windhoek. We're getting the Namibia flag next Saturday. We're taking off from Cape Town International, and we'll make our way to our destination. Nice flying there, Infidel. Let's see if we are. Yep, we are within shouting distance. Tower, Clipper 912, requesting clearance for landing runway 15.
I am working on that clearance. Stand by.
Standing by. Oop.
Clipper 912. Runway 15 is not available. Active runway is 25. Contact tower for landing clearance.
Zhengding Tower, Clipper 912.
Clipper 19912, Shijiazhuang Tower, Suburb 9012, Zhengding Tower. Say again your request or intention.
Tower, Clipper 912, request full stop landing runway 15.
Clipper 912, runway 15 is not available. Active runway is 25. Contact tower for landing clearance.
Roger, request runway 25 for landing.
Clipper 912, winds 360 at 3, runway 25, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 25, Clipper 912. Boy. All right, 25 it is. 25. Wait a minute, that's not. They have a 3-3. They don't have 2-5. Am I talking to the right place? Yep. Am I getting 1-5 and 3-3? There is no 2-5 unless there's a new. I don't see any other where there would be another runway. Interesting. All right, well, let's start dropping some altitude, shall we? All right, while we're doing that, I'm going to go step away for just a moment. Oh, let me get the... All right. I'll be right back. All right, I have returned. Let's see what kind of troubles me that it says go to runway 25, but there is no runway 25. So I guess we're going to go for 33. There's Kev, there's Infidel. Alright. Wow. A lot more. Look at that. There's like this big city center, and then there's all this farmland. Wow, that road right off to the left there looks like a airport kind of. You could land a plane right there. Yep. There's lots of people to feed. But it's weird, like there's this whole built up area here to the left, all that area, and then it's just surrounded by farmlands and these like it's almost like those places there in Brazil, like they're just stacked on top of one another. You know? I mean, they're not really stacked, but they're just like living. There's just no, unless you're out in the farm fields, there's no like I don't know, because the scenery that when we did that flight in Alaska in the DC-3, that was really fantastic. I don't know, I've not flown in it enough, or like I would have to fly the same route again in 2024 to say, wow, 2024 looks a heck of a lot better than this. I don't know. I mean, this is pretty amazing for 2020, I think. It's just, you get this densely populated area, and then you have all this farmland around it. I mean, it's just, because you can kind of tell a lot of these people are just probably living off of whatever they get from for working the farms, but they don't have, it's like this, I don't know. I mean, imagine, during the era of the Silk Road, a lot of those people traded with people traveling, gave them food, like they bartered for food, for shelter, taking care of the horses, stuff like that, yeah, it's there's a soccer pitch, football pitch right there. I know soccer, as we call it in America, is pretty popular here. But there's also like a running track. I don't know, is that maybe a school of some kind? But yeah, I would have to fly it again in 2024 just to see what the difference is. If anything. All right, predictions are just about up. If you haven't voted yet, you got a couple minutes left to do so. But I'm pretty happy that we did this flight also today because we got to see some we got to see a different part of the world. You downloaded the full thing the other day? I've heard, now somebody did a test and they said the streamed one, now a lot of it is down to your internet connection. But he said, the person doing the test said if your internet connection is not like a fiber connection, downloading the game. Now, the only problem is if you have a bad connection, or not super fast, it's going to take you forever to do that download. So it's like you're really kind of seems like in a no-win situation. If you're depending on your internet, that's the tricky part. But I think that's why a lot of people have just decided to stick with 2020. That they don't have to worry about all that. They can still fly and have fun and enjoy it. But all right, let's hold on. I need to do something here real quick, just in case we need it. All right, there we go. All right, looks like Kev's on the ground. Fiddle's over there. Let's see what the weather's like. Calm winds, very calm winds. Okay. Fly over the airport, have a look, see if it tells us anything else. Ooh, a little bit of a stutter there. Pretty built up area here. Like small built up areas. Just kind of scattered around. Interesting. Alright, that should be 1.5 here, which is, I think, is what they're coming in on. 3.3 is here, but there is no 2.5 unless there's been a major change in the airport layout, which I don't think is the case. I also say there's a dirt runway there, but I don't think that's the case. Alright, well, we'll set up for landing on 3.3 then. Interesting, colorful buildings here. Zhengding Tower, Clipper 912, request full stop landing, runway 33. Let's see if we get this correct now.
Clipper 912, winds calm, runway 33, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 33, Clipper 912. Now, for some reason, they were talking 2.5. That still doesn't make any sense to me. All right. Let's fire the autopilot. How'd you guys do on the landing? Kev, how'd you do? Still got a 42, very well. Well done. Kev got a 221 last one. So I had the runway in sight, and then now the terrain has kind of muddied it. Oh, now it's back. Okay. See, there it goes again. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking right at the runway, and it's like I'm getting ready to cross over. I turned in too early. Yeah. Okay. Good thing I recognize that now. Okay. We'll get lined up here in a second. That's okay, we got this. This is the short final. Oh, that felt pretty good. That was a... Let's see what that was. That was a 131.
Clipper 912. Contact ground on 121.6.
Ground on 121.6, Clipper 912. Ground, Clipper 912. Request taxi to parking.
Clipper 912. Taxi to Gate 9er. Cross runway 33, then Alpha. Have a good day.
Oh, that was a nice voice. Taxiing to Gate 9, cross runway 33, then Alpha. Good day. I don't know what Gate 9 is. Let me get over there by Kevin Infidel, get another picture. You are inside of a jet plane, a jetliner there, Kev, according to my screen. That is not a, that's like a DC-3 mating with an A320 or something. You see that? Oh wait, you guys are watching commercials. Wait, Kev's a subscriber, so you should be able to see the fact that he's inside of an A320. You want to slew yourself out of that mess, Kev? Or do you want your picture taken like you're having a baby with a A320? I think he stepped away. Oh, there he is. All right, that's better. Thank you. Appreciate that, Mick. You know, we do our best, contrary to unpopular belief. I got the picture, Kev. That's fine. I got you. Yeah, it was good stuff. We'll wrap things up here, and I got to get to the store. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She said gate 9. Well, we'll just go to this one. Thank you, Mella. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was good stuff. We got another flag in the collection, and we got our first leg of the Silk Road tour done. There we go. 56 minutes in the air. Not bad. Still having issues with the... maybe I need to do the hold short and contact them for departure clearance. Maybe kind of breaking the laws. All right. All right, so we'll get that done, or get this all finished up, and then we'll. Well, we are finished. Thank you all for hanging out today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you, Infidel and Kev, for flying along. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully everybody had a good time and enjoyed the flights. If not, you know who the complaint department is. Can't guarantee you're going to hear from them, but you can always send them a complaint. I'm sure you appreciate the message. I'll be back next Saturday in the Avro RJ 100 Quiet Trader, South Africa. We're going from Cape Town to Windhoek, and should be a good flight. So join us for that if you want to. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early Sunday. For some folks already around the world, I have been and always shall be your host, pilot, lead singer, driver of the airplane, Uncle B. Until next time, peace, live long and prosper.